Yeah, well, it's about like the other one.
Ah. Now I'm about to move into uncharted territory because I have not played some of these yet. In preparation, I played a couple of them just to see if they would run, and some of the ones I wanted to play just would not run for some reason. One or two
That
players.
sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
You probably needed a BIOS update for it.
Prepare to enter. I learned that this game has got a really, really storied history. This was originally made by a company called Big 5 Software, who used to make games for the TRS, which is an old Radio Shack computer, from back in the 70s. And this was only one of two games that was made in the 80s by that company.
Wait, Radio Shack actually had computers? Wow.
Yes and no. They worked in conjunction with Tandy, which is it's a derivative of DOS. Fell to my death. But yeah, Tandy. It was a disk operating system only. You had to have the startup in order to boot up the computer. Otherwise, it just would not work. And they had some interesting games for it. They had some good games for it, like Thexter, which I played the shit out of in the day, and Gauntlet. And I think a golf game as well.
Teresa, is it unnatural to actually like golf games, especially old ones? Because I kind of like old golf games.
It is not unnatural at all. In fact, my very first Nintendo DS game was a golf game. True Swing Golf, to be precise. I'm going to give this game one more shot. Move awful fast in this version for some reason. Prepare to enter! It had its own storyline as well, this game. The idea was that you're supposed to catch somebody who was some evil scientist or something like that who was operating in the mines, and supposed to catch him, but really they could have done without that story altogether, because all you're doing is just painting the floor.
Yeah. By the way, I like Microfun's little slogan, fun is forever, and they closed down, I think. Yeah, you guys did not plan for the future.
Nobody did.
Which is a shame, but, you know, you need to adapt with the times. Even if the times absolutely suck.
Yeah, you kinda do. I mean, there was a lot of great companies back in the 80s that just they thought that the Commodore was going to live forever, and it didn't.
Nope.
I mean, they survived with the 128 and eventually the Amiga line of computers, but it wasn't the same. I mean, granted, you could.
In fact, I think the original Commodore company went out of business.
Actually, no. The original Commodore company, I think it's still around. Only now they're just making Windows computers.
Let me research.
If you go to CommodoreUSA.com, you can purchase some of their new models, which, ironically enough, are in the same mold as the original Commodore 64 keyboard. But inside is an Intel Core i5. It could never be an i7, I don't think. But inside is a Core i5 up to 8 gigabytes of RAM and some kind of graphics chip. I don't know what kind it is though. But if you hold down a button during post, you can boot it in Commodore 64 mode, which it's fully functional. But what the fuck can you run on it?
The modern computer, probably nothing. You need a floppy drive for one, and
you would need some way to run the old games, even if it's just the ROMs.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Now, granted, there are devices out there that you could plug into the serial ports of the original Commodore, and with those you can insert an SD card and run games off of those. But good God, those things are expensive and uber rare. You have to hope to God that when you're bidding for one on eBay, that someone doesn't just snatch it up under you. Because the ones I've seen, that none of them were buy it nows. He was
And kind of
something?
rightfully so. I mean, who wouldn't want a rare thing to go as high as it could go? Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Commodore International. They were They went defunct in 1994.
So, that's right. The Amiga people, they sort of broke off and made their own computers. I think that's the story. But anyway, that was Miner 2049'er for the Colecovision. Hold for editing.
Okay, Commodore USA is still in business, though. Okay, that makes sense.